Welcome to Untold Stories by Zuhay. He was fearless, brave, and majestic. He had learned horsemanship, archery, and swordsmanship from his father. When he went hunting, he never returned empty-handed. Along with being powerful, he was exceptionally intelligent. Because of this, his father trusted him. He was related to several tribes of the Turks. His father's name was Sultan Shah, but history knows that brave man by the name of Ertugrul Ghazi. The founder of the Ottoman Sultanate, Sultan Osman, was his son. Ertugrul was born in 1190 in the region of present-day Turkey. At that time, the Mongols had attacked Central Asia, so many tribes migrated towards Anatolia and Asia Minor. Several tribes had set up camp in one area, but this area was not suitable for the winter season. Therefore, Ertugrul's father, Sultan Shah, wanted to find a better place for them to settle as soon as possible. For this, he decided to send Ertugrul to Aleppo, where Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi's successors were ruling. Just as things were starting to improve, and Ertugrul was about to be sent as an envoy to Sulayman Sheikh, an incident occurred that pushed the tribe into trouble. Ertugrul had gone hunting with his brother, Shahrukh. There, he saw that some Templar knights were taking prisoners. He rescued the prisoners and killed the Templars, bringing the prisoners back to the tribe. A conflict arose with the Templars, and in the ensuing battle, his brother was also killed, making the Templars enemies of the tribe. The prisoners he had brought were a nobleman, his daughter, and his son. This nobleman was Prince Ghiyasuddin of the Seljuk Sultanate, also known as Prince Numan. His daughter was Halima Sultan, who would later become Ertugrul's wife, and his brother, Prince Nasir, was also with them. At that time, to protect the Sultanate and crush any rebellion, the Sultan had imprisoned his brothers. However, Prince Numan had escaped. The Templars, encouraged by this, began to threaten the tribes. But the tribal chief, adhering to his traditions, refused to hand over the prisoners. When Ertugrul went to meet the emir, the tribe members handed the prisoners over to the Templars. A better situation turned into a disaster, but Ertugrul, with his bravery and intelligence, managed to escape. And so, Ertugrul obtained this area from the Sultan. It was near the Templar castle, and living there meant stepping into the jaws of death. The tribal chiefs opposed it, but Sultan Shah respected Ertugrul and accepted the challenge. When they reached the border, the Templars, to avenge their brothers, attacked them. Under Ertugrul's leadership, they attacked the Templars at their throat. Many discovered the real vehicle of. In 1225, after the death of the Muslim ruler, the issue of tribal leadership emerged. But before any decision could be made, the Mongols attacked them. In 1234, under the leadership of Genghis Khan's descendants, the Mongols had ravaged China and Iran. The Mongols' swift campaign was like a golden assault. They attacked all the Turkic tribes and scattered them. They also attacked Ertugrul's tribe, and the tribe, carrying their wounded, barely escaped. Under the leadership of Ertugrul's mother, Hami Hatun, and his brother, Dundar, they moved towards their allied tribe, the Dodurga. The influence of the Dodurga tribe was significant. Their chief, Korkut, gave them a place to stay and decided to help them. Ertugrul decided to fight against the Mongols. But the tribe's internal conflicts grew daily, and his uncle and brother opposed this. However, Ertugrul was not one to remain silent. His foresight told him that the Mongols would not rest until they had subjugated everything. He decided to send his wife, Halima, to Sultan Aladdin Cakebad's palace so that she would be safe in the Seljuk Sultanate and he could fight the Mongols properly. Ertugrul wanted to go to a sultanate as soon as possible. For this, he chose a place near the western border of Anatolia. During the war against the Byzantines, Ertugrul faced severe difficulties. After his uncle's betrayal, his stepmother and the traitors turned him into a puppet. The tribal chief of the Dodurga was selected, so his partners allied with the traitors with money, and he became the chief. His goal in becoming chief was to stop Ertugrul from going to Anatolia. And so, to secure his brother's post, Sungurtaken Bey, Sultan Aladdin Cakebad was suspicious of Saadettin Kayopek. Saadettin Kayopek dreamed of capturing the Seljuk market after the Sultan's death. But it seemed to him that Ertugrul was an obstacle on that path. Ertugrul defeated the Mongol commander Noyan and decided to establish a principality on the Byzantine border. Ertugrul was a visionary leader who also had the guidance of Ibn Arabi, who guided his every decision. Along with that, due to Ertugrul's bravery, the organization of the Turks, The white, bearded one's elders were in his post, and with their help, he was able to get closer to the Templars. He wanted to establish a principality on the border. He rebelled against his brother and decided to leave for Anatolia with his loyal brother, his wife, and 400 tents of the tribe. On his journey, he became the chief of a small piece of land in Karakada. After settling in the new place, the situation became stable, and the tribe began to face the prospect of famine. During this time, Halima continued to work to provide for the tribe, and they sold their belongings to bring grain. But there was very little food in the country. His biggest rival on the journey was the Iavdar tribe, whose chief was from the side of the son of Chief Aliyar Bey, and Eidolon opposed Ertugrul and attacked his caravan, killing his matched soldiers and burning all the goods. After this, a storm of troubles fell upon his tribe. The market where they traded was called the Honey Market. This market still exists in Turkey under the name Halepwai Argas, Aleppo Market. Its owner, Simon, was a spy for the Templars. When Ertugrul found out, the white bearded ones ordered him to eliminate this spy. And Ertugrul, along with his soldier Turgut, exposed him, fought against him, and captured the Honey Market. He also decided to take revenge on the son of the Iavdar tribe's chief in Eidolon. But Emir Sadettin Kelopek met with him and saved him. Emir Sadettin Kelopek was an influential figure in his region, so it was necessary to respect his words. But Ertugrul did not take him seriously. During this time, Sultan Aladdin Kaikibad passed through that area. When he heard about the honesty and bravery of the rum and Christian towers of the Honey Market from Ertugrul, he was very impressed. Emir Sadettin Kelopek messled the Sultan, saying that Ertugrul was establishing a state within the state, and had claimed the Honey Market for himself instead of giving it to the Sultanate. But the Sultan had already tested Ertugrul. According to Turkish tradition, a place acquired by the sword becomes one's property. The Sultan appointed Ertugrul as the chief of this entire region and recalled Sadettin Kelopek to Konya. Along with the chiefdom, he also summoned Ertugrul and gave the order to circle the T. Because they had tried to attack the Sultan promised him that he would soon send an army to help him. In all these places, the Iavdar tribe and Aliyar Bey were against Ertugrul. But his brother Yar and sister-in-law Aslaw had fought alongside Ertugrul. In the fight against the troubles, his brother Yar was martyred. His brother and Aliyar were killed for the crime of rebellion in the Congress. His sister-in-law Aslauhan was made the tribal chief. Ertugrul married his sister-in-law to his best friend and godbrother, Turgut, also known as Bamsu. But remember, Ertugrul's first wife was burned alive in a Mongol attack. Thus, a bond of friendship was sound between the two tribes. During this time, in a skirmish, the Byzantine commanders was killed by Ertugrul, and the Byzantine emperor sent Ars to make a treaty. Ars offered a hand of friendship to Ertugrul and proposed a truce. But Emir Sadettin Kelopek, along with the second chief of the Avdar tribe, Bahadur Bey, began a conspiracy against Ertugrul. They also captured his son, Junawaz, and helped in Bahadur Bey's conspiracies. Ertugrul killed Bahadur and made Aslauhan the new chief of the Avdar tribe. After dealing with them, Ertugrul, without waiting for the Sultan's army, attacked the castle with his soldiers and captured it. The castle's governor, Ars, fled to save his life, and the flag of the Sultanate and many tribes was hoisted on the castle. After conquering the castle of Karakahisar and the Honey Market, Ertugrul's name began to be discussed everywhere. After capturing Karakahisar, Ertugrul appointed his brother Saru as its commander and went to Konya to warn the Sultan about Sadettin Kelopek's conspiracies. In Konya, he presented evidence against Emir Shahabuddin, but the witness managed to save his life. In 1237 after Sultan Aladdin Kaikibad and his crown prince, Ghiasuddin, were killed by poisoning, Ghiasuddin's son, Khusraw, was made the Sultan. The allegation of the Sultan's murder was placed on Ertugrul, and he was imprisoned. After Ertugrul was imprisoned, the Sultanate came under the control of Emir Sadettin Kelopek. He gave the castles of Karakayasar and to the chiefdom of the Dodurga tribe and appointed Korkut's son as the chief, and gave the black work to Giundius. But when Sultan Ghiasuddin learned that it was not Ertugrul but his mother, along with Shahabuddin, who had gotten his father killed, he reappointed Ertugrul as the chief and freed Ertugrul. The Sultan ordered the execution of Sultan Ghiasuddin and Irshaduddin, and gave this responsibility to Ertugrul. And Ertugrul informed the foolish Korkut about the teacher's true identity. Together with him, He eliminated Sedetin Keopek and tried to put the Sultanate back on its feet. But he left Giogendiz in charge of the castle of Karakayasar and went to his tribe with honor. Sulait was the area that Sultan Aladdin Kekubad had bestowed upon him as a reward for his bravery and given him freedom, stating that he could conquer these frontier areas and increase his domain. He gave the honey market to the Seljuk Sultanate and himself started preparing to go to Site. During this time, the Mongol commander Noyan again announced an attack on Anatolia, and Noyan was tasked with either persuading Sultan Ghiyasuddin or destroying and ravaging Anatolia. When Sultan Ghiyasuddin ordered double taxes for the campaign, he sent a sworn statement and Ertugrul, along with this campaign, sent Amir Khan as an ambassador to the Mongols. Taking advantage of the absence of the Jalali, Noyan's sister planned to attack several tribes, but she was unsuccessful, and Noyan's sister was killed. There, when the envoy reached the Mongol commander Beiju, he placed a seal on the mobile and gave the Byzantines a respite of 2 years. But that same day, the Mongol commander was killed, and Ertugrul was held responsible for his death, but he managed to escape. The newly appointed, but failed. The envoy returned, and Baiju's son, Fardin Khan, who was his successor, was prepared to attack Anatolia, resulting in the Battle of Kher Sida in 1243. When Ertugrul returned to the tribe, he ordered the tribe to begin preparations to go to Site. During this time, the governor of a castle on the Byzantine border attacked his soldiers, and in his counterattack, he killed the castle's governor and decided to capture the castle. But at that time, the son of the Byzantine emperor, Prince, fearing Ertugrul, came to him himself and offered a hand of friendship on behalf of the emperor, after which the threat from the Byzantine crusades in the region subsided. He kept his time, which was now Hera's domain. The Seljuks were badly defeated, and the Mongols captured Anatolia. All the tribal chiefs and even the Sultan were forced to pay taxes to the Mongols. In the Seljuk court, the Sultan became a puppet in the hands of the Mongols. Ghiyasuddin's crown prince was completely being played by the Mongols. The Sultan's elder son, Izzeddin, rebelled against the Mongols, but no one supported him, so he went to Anatolia and his brother Ruknuddin became the Sultan. The Mongols' great Khan was now Hulagu Khan, who had shed rivers of blood up to Tabriz in the east, and was planning to crush the beylics of Anatolia. During this time, Ertugrul settled in Sekhoit and continued his struggle against the Mongols from there. But this struggle was not overt. Officially, he paid taxes to them, but internally Ertugrul was preparing a major plan against the Mongols. He made a plan with the Mamluk Sultan Malikul Zahir of Egypt and Berk Khan, the grandson of Genghis Khan, who, along with his tribe, had accepted Islam and was continuing the fight against the Mongols. He gathered the people of Sultan Izzeddin's village and his own village, and prepared these two great powers to fight the Mongols. But due to internal conspiracies and attacks from the traitorous governor of the Seljuk, Ertugrul was badly trapped because a big war was necessary to fulfill his ultimate goal. But during this time he could not even think of fighting the Mongols openly. The Mongols had merged with people from several tribes. To take control of his beylic, Ertugrul decided to settle the Yildiz tribe in Siti as a gift. The tribe's influential people were against the merger, but his started liking Ertugrul, and later Ertugrul married her. He captured the castle of its commander was Dragos, who wanted to expel Ertugrul from the region. He killed the chief of the Yildiz tribe and placed the blame on Ertugrul's son, causing a risk of war between the two tribes. But due to Ertugrul's intelligence and understanding, he escaped this trouble. After this, his son, Junirs, became its recorded influence. Juunindiz was a close associate of the Mongols and was continuing a campaign against Ertugrul. Concealing his identity, he had become a spectator for the remaining Turkic tribes under the name Bala Kabeshi. On the other hand, the foolish was anonymous. Ertugrul had to face two enemies, and both were in front of him, Albasti in the form of a flower and Bag in the welcome church, who in the form of a bribe. The woman destroyed Ertugrul's brother Junendiz's tribe as well, and he had saved his life and disappeared into the mountains. They were enemies with Ertugrul, and their goal was to wait for him. In this situation, he could not ignore any minor enemies. In opposition, Ertugrul killed two Mongol commanders who had attacked his tribe. After their death, Hulagu Khan's brother appointed to counter him. That channel helped the traitor and began weaving plots against Ertugrul, But Ertugrul somehow escaped from his hand. He exposed Dragos and killed him. Halima also. When Halima appeared before Ertugrul, she was killed by his brother Giundiz's hands. After dealing with the enemies, Ertugrul went to Crimea to meet Berk Khan. When his enemy learned of this, he followed him, and there Ertugrul exposed the traitor machine of Berk Khan, and the accused he was also killed by Berk Khan's hands. And Ertugrul, along with Berk Khan, fought the Mongols. He convinced Berk Khan that when he attacked the Mongols, the Turkic beys of Anatolia would support him, while Sultan Zahir would join him with his army. Ertugrul returned to his tribe and, after making his younger brother, Duyunandar, the head of the house, left for the high. He was defeated in that jungle. During the battle, Hulagu died, and the Muslims were victorious. The Abbasid Caliphate in Baghdad ended. The caliphate was permanently established in Cairo. Sultan Baybars returned to his city, and Ertugrul returned from the war as a judge. This is why Ghazi became a part of his name. And so, in 1280, at the age of years, he passed away in Statut, and his mausoleum was completed in that same city, in memory of Ertugrul Ghazi's bravery, courage, and his struggle for the propagation of Islam. A mosque has been built in Turkmenistan in his name.